It's Lia Knowles here. Thank you for watching. So I got a lot of positive response about my last video, lots of support and requests to make another video, and more actually. So I decided, why the hell not? As long as my computer is up and running, I will try and help the community as much as I can in the time I have left in Neverwinter. And this would be my second video right now, and this would include a bit of spoilers to the new content. So if you're really sensitive about spoilers and you don't want to see what's coming next, then don't continue to watch the video. There's gonna be some serious spoilers over here, and I will also talk about how the new 10B expansion is going to affect your Great Weapon Fighter, what's gonna change more or less, and also talk about the changes I have made in the recently updated guide. And if you haven't seen it, then either go to the ARC official forums or MMO Minds. My build is now updated, fully updated to module 10. And you can see all the changes. There's a new section of explanations and numbers for people who would like more in-depth explanations on how some of our powers work, what doesn't work properly, what's worth or not worth to invest in, my views on certain things. That would serve a lot of people who want to know more about the class, like one step ahead of everybody else. So there's this new section, and a lot of stuff changed, my gear, everything, a lot of things that I did mention in the preview video before, and even things I didn't. Um, so it's worth checking. Also, no, actually, that would be it. I will talk about the preview server and what's in it, and the next expansion, and what's in store for your Gwyff, and a little bit about my Module 10 update. That would be it. So right now I'm in the Sea of Moving Ice map. I'm so sorry you guys can't see how beautiful this map is due to my poor graphics, but now you see through my eyes. It's super laggy, and this is minimum graphics, and it sucks. But it is what it is. This is what I have to live with. So this map is honestly, it's beautiful. For those of you who have better rigs than I do, you will find this map great. And the main, I already got in here, and I already picked up my weapons and all that, but I'll talk about it later. The main concept of this map is actually the kayaks, and that you get to travel inside the sea and basically fish. That's the main concept of the map. Of course, there will be mobs to kill and all the, regular stuff, but that's the coolest thing you can do here is actually jump inside the water, emerge with your tiny kayak, and go fish. I already have the quest on me, and the quest, they want 10 fish from me. So I will demonstrate how the fishing mechanic works in this expansion. And if you guys remember the Sahabal game from Summer Festival, then it's kind of similar in a way. The bar is very similar and all that. But yeah, right now I already put the bait in, and I'm kind of waiting for a fish to come to me. Where are you, fishy fish? All right. Casting a line. Now I'm waiting. It takes a few seconds for the fish to actually appear, and then you can start fishing. Fish hooked. I'm gonna pull him in and start fishing. So the secret is to press on the buttons as long as they require you to, and not just let go. That's a mistake that a lot of people do, and that's how they don't get to fish. And the second this bar lights up, as you can see, my one bar lights up. I'll press 1. It's like a daily bar, and the fish is caught. That's how easy this is. This is not gonna be like, if you guys remember Winter Festival and the fishing in Lonely Wood. That sucks. That is really horrible. But this is an interactive fishing mechanic system, which is kind of cool. I like it. I think that's pretty awesome. So I was one of the people who complained about, oh no, more fish. I don't want it. But now that I've seen the true mechanic of it, I learned to enjoy it, and well, it's not so bad. It's really not so bad, and the map is beautiful, and the quests are pretty engaging. They're not as boring as the other zones are. So yeah, this is the new zone. There's also gonna be a 10-man trial. There's nothing on queue yet because the trial isn't out on preview yet. Also, preview. Sorry, I forgot. I always assume that I'm talking only to PC crowd, but of course for all the console peeps, and I'd like to explain what preview is. I'm so sorry. Preview or test chart is basically a server in which we have access to all the things that are not out as of yet. I totally forgot to activate my boots. They are not out in live server yet. So the devs basically use our feedback in order to fix all bugs and change whatever needs to get changed before it goes to live. So we PC people, humble PC people, test all the stuff before it gets to our live and of course yours. So all the major bugs, fortunately, you guys don't have to experience because they're reported from us first. And sometimes if it's not game breaking, it gets fixed, and if it's game breaking, they like to kind of delay it and fix it in a mod or two or three. Depends on how popular the game breaking bug is. So yeah, that's my tiny uh, snarky critic of the devs, but that would be it for me. Um, so yeah, there are a bunch of buggy stuff in here. I'm not gonna mention it just in case it's gonna go to live, and I don't want people to abuse it. I've had enough of it, honestly. Um, so yeah, not this video, but the good thing is I already have the weapons here. I want to show you guys. Maybe I will go to Bryn Shander and show you guys what it takes to restore the weapons. But let me tell you this: the weapons are going to be super time gated. It's not going to be as easy to restore them. I assume, I don't know yet, but I assume the unrestored versions are going to come from the new trial. It's going to be probably a 10-man trial. Much like Demon Gurgen, there's going to be a regular version and a master version. I don't know what the requirements are. I don't know if there's any Everfrost resist required. I have no idea as of yet. Oh god, this is loading forever. But these weapons are probably going to drop from the trial, possibly RNG, most likely, or we'll be able to earn them via currency of some sort. I'm not sure yet, but I guess we'll know soon. So anyways, I would just want to grab a pack from this debug NPC just to show you guys what it takes to actually restore these weapons, and show you how time gated this is gonna be. If you have the patience, I'm an impatient person, but when it comes to best in slot and things that I know I should get for my character, then I go for it. So see, all right, this is the offhand, for example. No, you know what? I'll show the main hand because this is a little bit more overwhelming. So we have all these are required in order to restore this weapon. So I can already tell you that these two epic items come from Weaponsmithing 25. You can actually make those and craft those. Those are not bound to character, as in you can actually make those and sell them to friends or on the AH if you'd like. So all the people who actually bother to level up professions, then this is right here for you. The rest of the items, so we have this item. I'm pretty sure this one will come from HEs. Yes, it says so. And these also, this comes from fishing, it says, and this comes from treasure maps. Treasure maps are not out yet, so I can't show you. But that's gonna be a cool little thing once it comes out. And this comes from daily quests. So this is gonna be pretty heavily time gated. Not to mention the Venom blood that you actually need to farm. Yawn, yawn. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, those are the weapons, and I already have them restored right here. So, also, oh yeah, the campaign before I continue. Um, so yeah, the campaign basically is going to turn into some sort of tyranny of dragons. You know how in, let me go back to Tyranny of Dragons so I can remind you what happened there when Tiamat came out. Is that these last boons went into tiers. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, basically. Um, rather, showing in the boon section, if anything, is that you would have to invest in the boon, and then in order to level it up, you would need to invest more and more items and resources. Like for this example, tier 1 was 5%, tier 2 was 6.5, and tier 3 was 8% crit severity. So that's what's gonna happen to the last boon in Storm King's Thunder. I'll be frank, I'll be honest. These capstone boons are absolutely horrible. They're terrible for a DPS class. I am gonna get it for the sake of getting it, but let me tell you this: if you don't want to invest any time in this campaign, just forget about it. Maybe get the capstone just to have it, but you might not want to invest all your, as you can see, 100% secrets for the second tier. All this, you might not want to invest all this time for just this boon. Um, but yeah, this is gonna have 3 tiers, and it's gonna go up to 14,000 damage when it's capped. Overall, not great. It is what it is. I will be going to Trade of Blades right now, so just so I can show you guys what the new weapons can do, and how the mechanics is gonna look like for a glyph, and how we're gonna deal with it. I will tell you up front, most likely the classes that will have the easiest time to do this with the new weapons without losing valuable damage time is Weapon Fighter, Warlocks, Paladins, GFs, and anybody who doesn't have a clunky dodge animation, like a TR, for example, like a C-Dub, HRs. All those might struggle with the new mechanic of the weapons, but most definitely it will still be best in slot and all that. So weapons. I believe I wanted to say something else, but okay, weapons. All right. So a lot of people looked at the weapons and went like, "Oh, well, you know, this isn't great. The bonus isn't great. The twist is much better." But there's something that a lot of people do not understand. Weapon damage is a major component of your overall DPS. Meaning, any slight change of weapon damage, and pay attention, I'm comparing a legendary version of my Twisted to this green version of the main hand. The damage difference is quite low, no more than 100 points, but you guys have no idea how much those 100 points can affect your damage, to a point that if I equip those weapons right now, as they are, without the equip power, without the second offense slot, without anything, I will still do 5% more damage than I would do with my legendary weapons with all of it inside. That's how big, basically, the base weapon damage is. That's how big of a component it is. And a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, the mechanic of the weapon is pretty interesting and is quite easy for a weapon fighter to master. I will obviously, well, if my computer survives, I will obviously release another video due time with basically, wait. No, I don't want to refine that. Nope. Just want to get them out of here. Basically, a weapon fighter is going to have a very easy time to do this properly. We're just going to equip stuff. So pay attention, this version is green, right? It has no equip power. I get nothing out of it. Right, it does have an equip power actually of Sure Strike. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't have an equip power. Apologies. I meant it doesn't have the Wrathful Determination artifact offhand thingy, which doesn't even matter because it actually gives us just speed but nothing else. And it does not have the artifact stat increase, which I'm lacking a little bit of combat advantage. Also lacking a shitload of power. But here it is. I'm gonna do a rotation on these weapons, and you can see that the damage is pretty goddamn good and is actually superior to my legendary weapons, which is quite ridiculous, mind you, but it is what it is. Over 1 million just like this. Super, super easy. Wow, that was a non-crit. This happens once in a blue moon. But yeah, the damage is pretty goddamn good. It's better than the Twisted Set, guys. And just imagine this at Legendary. I can show you right now, actually. If I equip this, and I go to Collections, this is going to be the difference between the two. But the best thing is not the stat increase, not the weapon damage increase, it's the actual bonus. The bonus is so easy to master, and I'll show you how it works. So basically, oh, it hasn't, it needs to reset. Alright, so there's this thing that says overcharge ready. Now, when the overcharge is ready, it's going to appear over your character's head as well in a red text. So whether you're looking at your buff bar or not, you're still gonna see it in combat, which is super fucking helpful. And thank you developers for doing this, because now we can easily keep track of what's going on and what we should do in combat. So the overcharge is now ready. Basically what overcharge does is this. You can get two types of overcharge. You can get the overcharge attack or the overcharge defense. The attack basically gives you 10% outgoing damage and run speed 15% for 10 seconds. Now, this will proc if you use your stamina. Basically, if you're a TR, you need to dodge. If you're a GWF, you need to sprint. If you're a CW, you need to blink and all that in order to proc it. Or, now you cannot have two overcharges at one time. It's either or. The other overcharge, the defense one, which will increase your incoming damage, incoming damage by 10%, and give you 50% of your health back for 10 seconds. This will proc if you activate a daily. Now, these overcharges can only proc every 30 seconds. You really need to be smart about this and not waste it, and you have no idea how easy that is. So I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna do a rotation. I'm gonna get all my buffs up first because I can. Oh, well, I already used my overcharge because I apparently misclicked shift, but it is what it is. But I'm just going to continue as usual. In a bit, the overcharge, you're gonna see the text overcharge ready over my head. And then I know that I have this going. I can continue. The good thing, we don't have to do anything other than pressing shift and running a little bit and going right back to the target. Right, so the overcharge is ready again. See, what I would do as a Gripman fighter is that you basically don't even have to run anywhere. If you jump and press shift as you go, it procs. Right now it procced. I have 10% outgoing damage as we speak, and I can just do this fluidly, no problem. It's basically free. You don't even have to invest much thought or time into that, as long as you watch your bar or over your head to see when the recharge is ready, and you know when not to cast a daily, for example. Because if I would, once the recharge is ready, overcharge is ready, and I would cast a daily, then I will get the defensive buff, which I don't want. Like, if it happens accidentally every now and then, good, but if not, I don't want it. I want the damage buff at all times. So you're gonna have to be smart about this, obviously, and use it only when you gotta use it. So this is how it works. It's super, super easy. The new weapons actually benefit us more than I thought after testing it. Like, a slight... It's ready right now. I'm just gonna slightly press shift. It's done. It's all done. I didn't even sprint anywhere. I barely even moved, and it's procced. So it's pretty easy for our class anyways. It's going to be pretty easy to use and maintain during our routine. Personally, I do it as an instinct. I press shift all the time to get closer to the target. I do it as an instinct, but a lot of people don't. So you might want to get it into your muscle memory bank using shift, like every now and then. You know, just small uses. It barely consumes any of my stamina, but small uses just to, you know, get close to the target, make sure that you're on par with the target. It's basically gonna help you proc this weapon bonus a lot more. So yeah, guys, this weapon is gonna be best in slot. We're definitely gonna ditch our twisted set for this one. Once it comes out, I will do it. Well, I'll get them as fast as I can. But yeah, that's about the weapons. Also, I believe this is not on preview just yet, but there's going to be vivified armor. Now, what that means. So you guys can see my relic set, right? And ready to restore. What do you want? Oh yeah, vivified. It is on preview. Awesome. Great. I can show you guys what I mean. So you guys can see my relic here, and it's item level 150. It is basically empowered all the way to the end. So I'm gonna fill it just for the sake of it. And this is as far as it's gonna get. 150, that's it. The stats are awesome. And I get all I could ever want from a piece of gear. But that's not it. With Module 10B, we're gonna get even more restoration to do, and this time for the sets actually. So this 150 item level piece of set, well, piece of gear actually, is gonna get to 160 vivified version. I can't, I need Headsman's testimony. I can't get the testimonies just yet. I believe those will come from the tokens that you need to earn. There's some sort of token currency that we're gonna get if we complete the trial, the new trial once a week. We get a token, I think one token or a bunch of tokens, and with these tokens we can purchase the regents, and with those regents we can actually upgrade our restored relic to even more powerful version of it. So this is going to upgrade to a version of 155 item level, which is going to be tier 2, and for tier 3 it's going to upgrade to 160 item level, which is going to be even more powerful than what we have at this point. The good thing is that if you're lazy like me, you might want to actually get the vivified version, because even if I don't empower it anymore and I don't feel like farming Vaughn and Blood anymore, the very base level of the set is going to be 150, much like I have now, just without having to empower it. And if I feel like empowering it, I can empower it to 155, you know, just midway because I'm lazy, or all the way over if I want to be, you know, I want to use my powerhouse damage and go all the way over to 160. So by doing that, the developers are, well, that's my guess anyways, the developers make sure that all the people who kind of said, you know, I'm not going to get the relic gear, I don't want it, it sucks, you know, I don't want to invest in it, I don't want to get into FBI, this, you know, it doesn't interest me, I can get along by with my current gear. This is basically the devs telling you guys that if you want the best in slot gear in this game, and it's not going to be 8 item level difference, it's going to be 18 item level difference, and this is where a gap is going to begin between players who actually invested in the relic armor and players who did not. Now, I'm not saying you cannot get by without the relic gear or without the vivified relic gear, but this is basically the devs giving players in the community a wake-up call, saying, you better start farming if you want to be on par with everybody else. So, not sure how I feel about this. I think this is a little bit overpowered. I don't think we need 160 item level gear sets. I really don't. I think we do way too much damage as we speak right now anyways. And this is not going to help. This is just going to make everything more overpowered than it is. So I'm not too happy about it. But yeah, I guess so. Also, there's a good thing that I should remind you guys, well, kind of let you know, is that if you upgrade your relic sets to the vivified version, you don't lose the enchantments nor the armor kits, which is kind of nice of the developers to do. We don't have to invest all over again in our pieces of gear. So it will be a quick restore, and everything will just transfer, be grandfathered into the new pieces of gear, the vivified version. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That would be about module 10B or 10.5, which is due once again November 8th. This is all there is on preview right now. There's gonna be a new lockbox, a new artifact. There are gonna be a new, also new mounts, and all sorts of new stuff. But this video is already long. I'm not gonna elaborate on all of that, and hopefully, if my computer survives, I'll do another video when the module is out and show you guys around a little bit more. I did promise to say a few words about the update I made. I know that a lot of people, basically, I got a lot of questions ever since I updated the guide. I got a lot of questions about my choice of Assassin's Covenant, and I want to explain it. See, okay, I will say this right away. Protector's Camaraderie is nice. As you can see, I'm not even using the other camaraderie option I have. I'm using Wanderer's Fortune. Like, why not? I get free account bound drops from it. All of my bags are filled with RP from that. So, really, why not? The extra, 0.5% in stats is not going to kill anybody. And stacking camaraderie, while good, it's still a very small increase. So I was trying to think outside the box and see how else I can gain more offensive stats like power, like crit. And Assassin's Covenant is the only one that actually works for me, as I have massive amounts of defense. And it utilizes it by decreasing my defense and increasing my power instead. Now, let me say this outright. If you're not in a high guild, if you don't have massive amounts of defense like I do, for example, the amount I have post proc, then you might not want to use Assassin's Covenant, but it works beautifully for me. I gain around 1.5k to 2k power from it, as opposed to using an extra camaraderie. But that's just a personal choice, and I like this choice, so I went with this one. Also, no, I don't want to talk about the boons. As I said, the Kingston Thunder boons suck. Fleets, everything's intact, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to explain this change. Oh yeah. Companion gear. So, unfortunately, well, not really, but the developers are going to nerf the loyal stuff. Basically, they give a lot more stats than they intended them to give, which makes sense. If you can look at that this ring gives 652, 652, and 435 of stats, as opposed to the poor adorable bite skier that gives a lot less. Even though it has 2 offense slots, it still doesn't even compare stat wise. So the devs did say they're gonna shave off a bunch of stats from the loyal stuff, and rightly so. I do agree with that decision. I think everybody's a little bit overpowered right now, so might as well. And as a result, I had to. It's not nerfed yet, so I don't know what kind of adjustments I'm gonna have to make, because they haven't given us any indication to how many points they're gonna shave off and from what. I guess my guess is they're gonna shave at least 150 points from each stat. So less power, less crit, less armor penetration. As a result, I'm gonna have to deal with it. But basically, what I have right now is not finalized, and even though I have all brutals in offense right now, I might have to switch them out if I end up lacking crit because of the nerf. So I just wanted to say this is not finalized. I'm gonna have to wait for the nerf to happen and only then see what adjustments I can make in order to balance it out. But yeah, definitely, this setup currently is working great, and I'm happy with it. So that would be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you'd like to spare a few bucks to help me fund a new computer and not play this piece of shit potato until it dies, feel free. And there will be a link at the description. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out. See you in Module 10B.